Dobar dan, dobro jutro. Molim vas da zauzmete svoja mesta. Moje ime je Zorica Rašković i ja imam veliko zadovoljstvo da u ime organizatora ove konferencijskoj politici govorit ćemo o otvorenim pitanjima važnim za novu medijsku strategiju. People to people, ljudi ljudima, program Evropske unije i odeljenje za medije način kroz zajedničko razmišljanje o budućnosti. Učesnici će moći da daju svoje, ali ideja je da u okviru ograničenog vremena koje imamo uspemo da čujemo i razmenimo.
Zahvaljujem. Uvaženi skupe, poštovane dame i gospodo, pozdravljam sve vas prisutne na konferenciji koja je organizovana na temu u susret savremenoj medijskoj politici, a posebno visokog predstavnika Evropske komisije gospodina Kesterisa i šefa misije OEBS-a u Srbiji ambasadora gospodina Oricija. Želim da se zahvalim organizatorima na trudu i naporu da organizuju ovaj skup u Srbiji sa ovako brojnim učesnicima, raznovrsnim temama. Veliki broj učesnika, predstavnika međunarodnih, nacionalnih i regionalnih organizacija, državnih institucija, organizacija civilnog sektora, novinara i medijskih eksperata koji su prisutni ovde, potvrđuju delikatnost oblasti i krupnu zainteresovanost za jačanjem slobode izražavanja i slobode medija uopšte. Savremena medijska politika, konzistentna medijska politika i usklađena medijska politika je cilj ove vlade Republike Srbije. Ta politika i napori usmereni ka njenom ostvarivanju podrazumevaju kontinuiranu harmonizaciju propisa sa evropskim pravnim okvirom i sistemsko usklađivanje sa demokratskim vrednostima modernog evropskog društva i tehnološkim promenama u duhu vremena u kome obitavamo. Sloboda govora i izražavanja, kao i sloboda medija, osnovni su principi svakog demokratskog društva. U cilju jačanja ovih principa potrebno je da svi hrabro uđemo u nove medijske reforme, ne okrećući glavu od problema kao što su jasno definisanje javnog interesa u sferi medija, uloga države u ostvarivanju definisanog javnog interesa, transparentnost i vlasništvo u medijima, preispitivanja mehanizama zaštite medijskog pluralizma, imajući u vidu ekonomske prilike i novo digitalno medijsko okruženje i doba. Smatram da je neophodno da u narednom periodu posvetimo većom pažnju takođe položaju, profesionalizaciji i zaštiti novinara i njihovog rada. Srbija je, kao što je poznato, naravno u procesu priključenja Evropskoj uniji i mi smo, naravno, kao država u proteklim godinama činili i činimo prilično velike napore u jednom složenom procesu harmonizacije propisa, ustanovljavanja standarda, stvaranja mostova saradnje, razumevanja, međusobne pomoći. Srbija će odlučno nastaviti u tom pravcu, ali takođe je bitno da istaknemo da problemi sa kojima se suočavaju mediji i uopšte novinari nisu problemi koji naravno postoje samo u Srbiji, oni postoje i u Evropskoj uniji kao cijelini, a i u pojedinim zemljama Evropske unije i ta činjenica takođe ukazuje da smo zajedno na istom poslu. Bez sumnje je da Srbija tek treba da postigne još veće standarde i da se dodatno približi nivou standarda koji postoje u najvećem broju zemalja Evropske unije i da harmonizuje svoje propise. Mislim da smo dosta dobro i daleko odmakli na tom putu, ali naravno to nije razlog za preterano zadovoljstvo, budući da i dalje ima pojava koje se mogu oceniti kao zabrinjavajuće, štetne i kojima treba posvetiti posebnu pažnju, ne samo naravno od strane našeg Ministarstva kulture i informisanja, već i drugih državnih organa kao što su i naravno Ministarstvo pravde i javno tužilaštvo i sektor unutrašnjih poslova, pogotovo kada je reč o ugrožavanju fizičkog integriteta novinara. Uzburkano medijsko doba u kome se čitav svet nalazi jednostavno globalno također ukazuje na pojačanu potrebu da se medijska udruženja, ustanove sistema, države i tako dalje snažno organizuju i harmonizuju, ne samo deklarativno, nego i u pogledu konkretnih akcija, jer je kada je reč o zaštiti prava novinara na rad, to su zakonom garantovano pravo. Fizička bezbednost je također, naravno, mnogim zakonima zagarantovano pravo, ali u pravom životu, u praksi svedoci smo, mi sad govorimo, ja govorim pretežno o Srbiji, ima nažalost slučajeva koji nisu dovoljno istraženi, postoji prostor za poboljšanje i naravno potrebna je velika briga države. Srbija u rešavanju tih problema i tih pojava, nažalost, s jedne strane, da kažem, nažalost, nije usamljena. Evo samo primjera radi, znači, nijedna država u Evropi nije ostrvo. Postoje bezbrojne sinapse, principi, okolnosti, povezanost s duhom vremena, opštim medijskim ambijentom, političkim turbulencijama i drugim aspektima koji čine da je zapravo položaj novinara i položaj medija zapravo manje više sličan, s tim što u nekim okolnostima, u nekim državama i sistemima taj položaj je bolje obezbeđen i ima veću zaštitu, iako ne idealnu, a u nekim zemljama postoji prostor za poboljšanje te zaštite. I to mora biti jedan od naših zajedničkih primarnih zadataka. Evo primjera radi, kao ilustraciju svesti o zajedničkim problemima koje moramo da rešavamo na evropskom nivou, pa verovatno i na globalnom nivou, naveo bih samo jedan od niza projekata. Ovo nije konačna i generalna ilustracija, ali jeste fraktal jedne slike koja ukazuje na ovo o čemu sam malo pregovorio. Eto primjera radi, projekat pod nazivom Praćenje medijskog pluralizma. To je nezavisni alat kojim se služi Centar za medijski pluralizam i slobodu Evropskog univerziteta, odnosno instituta u Firenciji, pokazuje njihov izveštaj kako nijedna država, citiram, članica Evropske unije nije imuna na mogućnost ugrožavanja medijskog pluralizma. Konkretno, kako oni navode, opasnosti su sledeće: otkrivena koncentracija vlasništva u medijima, nedostatak političke nezavisnosti, nedovoljan pristup informacijama te izostanak odgovarajuće politike medijskog opismenjavanja. To se, kako oni kažu, potvrđuje i brojnim prijavama što stižu nezavisnoj platformi Prikaz slobode medija. A više od trećine incidenata prijavljenih uz pomoć tog internet alata odnosi se na uznemiravanje novinara. Naravno, konstatacija ovakvih činjenica i pojava, kao što sam malo pre ukazao, jeste jedna notorna stvar, ali takve činjenice nikako ne smiju da pruže alibi, sad govorimo o našoj državi, o našem medijskom sistemu, da se pozivamo na to da i u drugim zemljama postoje pojave, ne iste ili možda slične tendencije, već moramo, čini mi se da je to jedini pravilan pristup, da posmatramo kao da su stvari sa strane u najboljem redu, a da na nama leži teret poboljšanja uslova rada novinara, konsolidovanja medijske politike i donošenja nove medijske strategije i, ukoliko je potrebno, nove legislative koja će urediti ovo osetljivo polje. Tako da, iako smo svi na zajedničkom zadatku, mislim da svako treba prvo da se pobrine o svom dvorištu, kako se to slikovito kaže u mnogim jezicima i evropskim tradicijama, i da se svako na prvom mestu pobrine da sredi situaciju u svojoj kući kako to najbolje može, a onda naravno da se takav priključuje širim organizacijama uz poštovanje opšte prihvaćenih principa. Dakle, čeka nas veliki posao. Ministarstvo kulture i informisanja je spremno da sa svojim kapacitetima učestvuje u različitim osetljivim fazama tih složenih procesa i u nama će predstavnici i medija i medijskih udruženja uvek imati jasnog, glasnog, trpeljivog sagovornika i naša će vrata uvek biti otvorena za svaku temu koja se tiče medija, novinara i opšte medijske politike shvaćene i u užem i u širem smislu. I da završim, veliko mi je zadovoljstvo što imam čast da otvorim ovaj skup i još jednom naglašavam, potvrdim otvorenost Ministarstva kulture i informisanja za partnersku saradnju sa svim zainteresovanima u procesu izgradnje savremene medijske politike zasnovane na evropskim normama, vrednostima i standardima. I želim vam uspeh u radu. Hvala vam.
Direktorijata Evropske komisije za pregovore o proširenju i susedsku politiku, gospodinu Andrisu Kesterisu.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Minister, Ambassador. First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizers of this conference for kind invitation to come over and to address the meeting. I would say that my personal engagement with Serbian media community lasts in these days exactly 6 years. And I would like to thank many people in this hall for interacting with us, European Commission, which helped us to develop quite a comprehensive approach in our annual progress reports, which are not called anymore progress reports, in our policy documents approach on how to assist media and address media-related issues, media freedom-related issues. And I think that the timing for this particular event is very right. So just a week after adoption of the annual enlargement package, and so it means that you don't need to spend time guessing what might be in the package, but rather orient yourselves on analyzing the points raised in the reports and also focus on concrete ways how to best address the identified challenges. On the other hand, as you know, the report on Serbia brings basically nothing very new on the media developments, but we would not have known 2-3 years ago, even more. The report states that there was no progress. How to interpret this statement in the report? Actually, I would, you can do it differently from so to say, catastrophic point of view, but you can approach also it positively. As I mentioned, Serbia was over the last 5-6 years quite a leading country in setting up example for other Western Balkan countries, how the issues of freedom of expression should be addressed. And it started some more than 6 years ago with a dialogue between the media community and the government on elaborating media development strategy. It was done in a dialogue. Then the strategy was adopted, so there were draft laws which were also adopted later. There was Chapter 23 opened in negotiations, which meant also producing action, quite detailed action plan on addressing all the identified issues. But since then, since these very inspiring events, nothing much took place. And this made the Commission makes the conclusion that there was no much progress in the last year. Many in this room would say that the situation for freedom of expression and media was much better some, let's say, 10 years ago. And let us ask, what was different then? What has changed? And I would point first and foremost at the tectonic change in media landscape brought up by the world financial and economic crisis, which significantly undermined professional traditional journalism, especially in the countries with weaker economies and therefore also with correspondingly smaller advancement markets, which were that time the main source of financing of professional journalism and its sustainability. And let's be frank, no doubt that the governments, parliaments should be held responsible for the case and practices of exerting undue political pressures on media, for delaying implementation of laws or for undermining independence of regulatory authorities and public broadcasters. But even if we delete from the problem equation these, so to say, misbehaving governments, even then I assume that journalists would not be fully happy. Yes, very often there is a temptation present to make use of weakened position of media outlets in order to influence their reporting. But it's not all that undermines free expression in media today. The crisis brought about steep decline in professional standards in mainstream media, often also tabloidization of them. And the audience are losing trust in mainstream media and migrate away into online and social media, which in turn experience an unprecedented rise. But at the same time, these new social media are totally foreign to analytical standards of professional journalism, which is a main source of critical thinking in a democratic society. As Minister mentioned, it's not only societies in transition which are exposed to risks of losing ability to think critically. Brexit, the recent US election campaign, successful penetration of Russian state-orchestrated propaganda, these are to be largely explained by extraordinary developments in the media scene and media consumption patterns. According to a recent study by the Reuters Institute for the Journalism Study at the Oxford University, the study comprised 26 countries in the world with very solid respondent basis, more than 2,000 respondents per country. And this study figured out that 51% of respondents say that social media is a significant source for news on a regular basis, with Facebook being by far most important network. And to this end, provided the nature of search algorithms of social networks, there are strong concerns, study says, that personalized news and more algorithmic selection of news will mean missing out on important information or challenging viewpoints, quote ends. Unfortunately, the traditional mainstream media of today doesn't offer a credible remedy or alternative for this dangerous situation. In a nutshell, unless we find ways how to make professional journalism sustainable in the new media situation regarding both traditional and online media, there is rather slim chance for freedom of expression. This explains the paragraph on one of the first pages of this year's enlargement communication by the European Commission. I quote, "Building on Speak Up conferences, the Commission will launch a new concept of media days in the region, broadening the spectrum of media-related issues addressed beyond the freedom of expression as such, also in order to cover the functioning of media markets, competition distortions and related issues as financing and advertisement markets," end of quote. This doesn't take away responsibility of the governments to put in place enabling an environment for free expression in media, and we will continue to follow up on this closely. And the journalist professional organizations will remain our close partner in this. But we have to also work equally closely with the decision makers in the sector, editors, managers, and media owners, to address the development problems in media industry as we do it, for instance, in the case of transport or agriculture. This is the nature of the enlargement policy. As soon as we have identified the challenge, the issue, in the enlargement country, EU comes up with technical and financial assistance to address these issues. To this end, we are fully prepared to work together with media industry in Serbia and other Western Balkan countries, at least with that part of the sector which still endeavors to make living out of journalism and news. So, having had a closer look at the program of today's and tomorrow's event, with satisfaction I can conclude that many of the aspects I mentioned in my short intervention will be covered by working groups of this conference. And to this end, I wish all the success of your elaborations and discussions, and anticipate anxiously conclusions from this event. And thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, moderator. Dear Minister Vukosavljević, dear Mr. Kesteris, dear friends, today we have many first-time things. This is, I think, the relevance of this meeting. It starts something. It is, if I'm not wrong, the first Speak Up follow-up meeting here in Serbia. And we're very grateful, of course, to the co-organizers of this event, the TAXO, People-to-People EU program, the EU delegation to Serbia, but of course also the partners, the Independent Journalists Association of Serbia and Civic Initiatives. But I must say that we are especially pleased with the simple, but not simple, fact that in such an intense period the Minister was deciding to come. This is a clear political sign, and also not only the presence, but also the engagement that he was showing in the message he was delivering a few minutes ago. This, of course, shows how central is the issue you are discussing today and tomorrow within the very important modernization and reform process the country is passing through. It is clear that media policy is central when you think of this process. It is also true that this does not concern only Serbia, it concerns all countries. It is to some extent a never-ending process. It is true that it is also a sign on where a country is very, very often. This is why we think that it is extremely timely, this meeting. You're right, Andres, because also the strategy, the new strategy is starting to be under discussion, and it is clear that what we expect as an organization which is giving all its possible know-how to help and to assist Serbia in this effort of modernization and of reforms, is that fresh ideas can come which might be included, and I know that the Minister and the Ministry look forward to be able to include the outcome of these events also in the upcoming strategy. Also, of course, your evaluation of how the current strategy, which is expiring soon, was working. It is clear that we are all together in an ongoing process. We think that in these 2 days you will focus on what is really is an essential pillar of all democratic societies. It is important that all stakeholders are here. This is the added value, we think, of this meeting. Journalists, decision makers, academia, civil society. There is no other choice than working together on this. And we believe that it is very clear that we all need to progress together on this. The EU Commission is looking from the EU integration prospect. We as OSCE must have even a wider prospect, which is the future of the country itself in its overall position. If we wanted to help an implementation of relevant legislation, because of course you have the legislative effort, which is very strong, very important, very central, probably not even over, because there can be adjustments when you think of public interest subjects. But the implementation side is of course crucial, and only if there is strong coordination at all levels, this can be helped and successful. This is why we as OSCE, we stand ready to continue this this cooperation, this assistance. We want to facilitate. This is a kind of platform you and us together are building. It can be extremely useful. This is a crucial challenge and very sensitive in all countries, the relationship between media independence, media freedom, ruling of the country, information, of course also from not only from the authorities' point of view, but the journalists' point of view, associations, independent bodies, independent guarantees. We firmly believe that together we can do a lot. We are extremely encouraged, I repeat, not only by the presence, which is itself an added value, of course, by the Minister, but also by the very open attitude that he was showing. We think that also, of course, the stimulations now coming from reports and so can help in building somehow a new way also of discussing media freedom issues. And we firmly believe that this is a very important first step in this direction, and we wish really all the best for your work in these days, knowing very well that this is not just words, it will be a very important part of the content of the future efforts of the country and of the international community for sure in this field. Thank you very much.
Vrlo inspirativnim obraćanjima, za koje verujem da će biti pred medalje.
Kažem, scenu dođu učesnici prvog panela, panelisti, znači kolege i koleginice novinari i novinarke, molim ostanite.